Hey guys, it's Tori here with Camp Chef. We are in Boise, Idaho today with our friends at Favorite Family Recipes. So we are on Erica's back patio today with her Smoke Pro DLX. We have been smoking a brisket pretty much all night long and we're going to talk you through how to do that today. And then we're going to be making some brisket burgers afterwards. So we're going to show you those two things today. And most exciting of all, we are giving away one of our Smoke Pro pellet grills. So you guys have a chance to win a pellet grill for yourself so you can go smoke your own brisket. But the catch is we aren't going to release that link until we hit 600 shares on this video. So as soon as we hit 600 shares, we'll put the link out there. You can click on that and go enter to win one of our pellet grills. I think I covered everything, right, Tom?
I think so.
Let's get to the brisket. We are super excited about this.
Yes. All right. Hey guys, how are you? So yeah, we are here with Favorite Family Recipes. They were kind enough to let us come up to Boise. It was a not too bad of a drive up here yesterday. We've just been kicking it here for the past couple days. Had some great food, great company, and you know, one of the great things we've been able to do is get a brisket. We worked with our friends, a local company there in Cache Valley, Double L Ranch Meat, and they were able to provide us with a really great brisket. We started out with about an 11.5 pound brisket, right, Tori?
Yeah, 12 pounds-ish.
11.5, 12 pound brisket, and Erica was the lucky one to work on that last night. How was that, Erica?
It was awesome.
Hey
I was
guys,
up at
this
4
is
in
Erica.
the morning checking on the brisket. 4 in the morning and then every half hour. But it smells awesome. Totally worth it.
Yes. So, our brisket, one of the things, so we're doing something a little bit different than normal. Normally we have the finished product and we show you how to prep everything, but with the brisket, it's definitely one of those items that takes 10 to 15 hours depending on the brisket to cook. So we're not going to be showing the full prep today, but we've got our brisket guide that you guys can find on campchef.com that you can find. But in the meantime, what we did with this brisket, and I'm going to pull it off here in just a second, what we did is that we let it thaw until it got, you know, as close to room temperature as we dared with this brisket, and then we rinsed it off, get all the juice and everything from sitting in the cryovac pack, and then pat dried it, and then took our all-purpose seasoning and just, you know, I go a little heavy on the seasoning. Tori got after me on it. But I went a little heavy on the seasoning. And then this pellet grill, we turned to high smoke, so that's 225. And then we just let it run until it hit a internal temperature of 160 degrees, which was right around 7 o'clock this morning, right, Erica?
Yeah, it's about 7 o'clock this morning.
So we put it on, let's say, about 11:30 last night. So it took about 7.5 hours for it to reach an internal temp of 160 degrees, and then Erica, I've kind of taken it apart some, so she went through, wrapped it in foil, as Tori is getting smoked out here. Wrapped it in foil, and then once it hit temperature of 200 degrees, 199 degrees, we took it and tossed it in one of our coolers. We just wrapped it in foil, tossed it in one of our coolers, and let it sit for, you know, you can let it rest for up to, what did we decide, 2 hours, Tori?
Yeah, about that.
So let's pull out this brisket and take a look at it.
And if you guys are just joining us, as I'm sure you figured out by now, we are doing smoked brisket today and smoked brisket burgers. But you guys who are watching today, you have a chance to win your very own Smoke Pro pellet grill. One of these puppies right here. We're going to give away one of those pellet grills. You can enter to win it at a link that we will release as soon as we hit 600 shares on this video. So don't be shy, guys. Let your friends know, get sharing, because we definitely want to give one of you lucky guys a smoke pro pellet grill. So you can smoke your own brisket. And we put this on at about 11:30 last night, and we smoked it through the night, and we've been letting it rest. Let's get a good close look at this. Nice. So if you guys haven't really had much experience with brisket, some people might look at that and say, oh, it looks burnt, Tom.
No, so what you're looking at, so all of this black kind of coloration to it, that's the seasoning, that's the flavor, that's the bark. That's what really gets, that really intense flavor. I mean, obviously when we cut into it, we're gonna see a smoke ring. We've got the seasoning and everything coming from what we put on it, but this is what you're looking for when you're doing a brisket or even pulled pork or ribs, is this bark, because that really provides a lot of that flavor that you're looking for. So let's go ahead and pull that out. Let's see, Erica, can I get you to take that? Right.
Now, a lot of people talk about meat that like falls off the bone, but I would just like to take a second that you don't actually want that to happen with brisket. That means it's a little bit too moist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want ideally your brisket to hold up under its own weight, but then pretty easily come apart with just a little bit of a pull. So you don't want fall off the bone, or I mean, I guess there's not a bone in brisket, but you know what I mean. You don't want it to just crumble. You want it to hold up a bit, but then you definitely want it to be tender enough.
So,
oh my gosh, look at that smoke ring, you guys.
Kids, is what we're going for. That's a dang good smoke ring. I'm impressed about that one.
It's beautiful.
And that is what we're going for with the brisket. And in an ideal world, this is going to continue all the way through. I'm very happy about that. Let's give that a little bit of a taste. Go with that piece right there. Oh yeah. That is...
Okay, I have to have a little bit.
Go for it, Erica.
Erica wants to get in on that.
Gosh, that looks so good.
I'll give you guys one last little close-up. Look at that smoke ring.
Holy cow, that is by far the best brisket I've ever had.
I think I want some too.
So,
Tom, do you want to explain what a smoke ring is?
So, I don't know the exact science of it. In fact, if you wanted to know the exact science of a smoke ring and how that all works, definitely encourage you to head over to AmazingRibs.com. They go in depth as to what causes the smoke ring and how that all works, particularly with beef. It's super informative. Highly recommend you to read it. In a nutshell, what it is though is that as the wood pellets burn, if I remember correctly, it's basically a molecular what's the word I'm looking for?
Reaction?
Reaction. Thank you. Molecular reaction between the burning of the wood and the skin or the top layer of the meat, and it just creates this pink color, and as it cooks it'll start to penetrate further and further in, and this is a solid smoke ring. That's a good 1/4 inch, wouldn't you say?
At least.
So, and one of the other things that when you're doing brisket, and for the longest time, to be honest, doing a brisket actually quite scared me, because a brisket of this size that's, already trimmed, the fat cap is right where you want it, which is, between a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch thick. This brisket would run you about $100 to $150 at the grocery store. And for anyone looking to do brisket for the first time, that's kind of scary, because if you screw it up, you just screwed up a $150 piece of meat. But in this case, we didn't, which is always great. Erica's checking out that smoke ring.
Oh my gosh, it is so good.
But one of the other things that when you're looking at brisket, in general, you're going to come across 3 different kinds of brisket. You're going to come across a select, choice, and prime. Now, more often than not at the grocery store, you're going to come across a choice brisket. And really, that's your right down the middle brisket that's going to be of a decent size, and the marbling is going to be fairly consistent throughout the brisket to provide that great flavor, and it's not going to have too much fat, and it's just going to be a very consistent piece of meat all the way through. Select is the lowest grade, and you may run into some inconsistencies with the cut and the quality of beef. Prime is going to be your most expensive cut of meat, of brisket, and it's, for anyone else looking at it, you're going to say, I'm not eating that, I think it looks super fatty. And actually, a prime brisket is going to have a lot of fat throughout as that marbling. So as it cooks, that fat's going to render down, provide a lot of great flavor. So that's some things when you're looking at brisket to definitely consider, are those different things.
So when some people complain that brisket is dry, this is like anything but. I wish you could see how easily this falls apart. Like, can you tear?
A few viewers wanted to see a pull test, Tom.
A pull test?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's just take this piece that I just got here. Huh? So it's not pulling apart super easily, so we definitely didn't overcook it, and it's got a bit of a tug, which, from what I understand, and with brisket, this is what actually pretty close to what you're going for, because you don't want it to be totally fall off the bone type deal. You want it to have a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a tug to it, and there's that, you know, the remainder of that fat cap.
I'm gonna eat these little pieces because seriously, it's just so good.
And we're going to be snacking on this the whole time. So, and really with the brisket, Tori actually did a great job in writing a really great how-to on brisket. And, you know, if you go through that, it breaks it down very easily, and it takes a lot of the mystery of the king of meat, of brisket, out of that. Because it is kind of scary, because you're smoking it overnight, you're checking the temperature, making sure you're hitting the right internal temperatures. So,
which, by the way, Tom, a few people who are joining in late wanted to know what temperature we pulled this at. Not what temperature did we wrap it, and then what temperature did we pull it.
Alright, so we wrapped it at 160 degrees, or thereabouts. So I think it was 158 degrees. Because what happens is that a big cut of meat like this, and even with ribs and pulled pork, they will typically stall at about 160, 165 degrees, and they'll just sit there for hours. So to help get over that plateau and to continue to rise to the temperature you want, you'll wrap it in foil. Some people will even do butcher paper. But you wrap it in foil, wrap it pretty tight, and that helps concentrate the heat and the steam and helps accelerate that cook time to get up to the desired temp. With brisket, we pulled this at, the last time I looked at the probe temp,
it was just over 200.
It's like 200, 201 degrees, which with brisket, your key temperature range is 199 to about 203. So we were right there in the money range for brisket.
I would say so.
And then I don't know if we've had this question, Tori, but we used our competition blend was what we used, and the temperature, our smoke temperature, was 225, or our high smoke.
Yep.
So make sure you guys continue to share and we're going to show you guys how to do a smoked brisket.
Well, first,
burger.
why don't we remind them why they're sharing?
Yes. So, we want some lucky person to take home, or have shipped to their house rather, a Smoke Pro pellet grill. Now, to do that, we need to make sure that you guys tell your friends about it by sharing. So we need to have 600 shares, and we have a link all set and ready for you guys to go to, and as soon as we hit 600 shares, we'll post that in the comments, and when we're done with the video, we'll go back and add it to the description, and then you guys just go there and
Enter to win.
Enter
at
to win.
That link.
Pretty straightforward. So remember, as always, much to the chagrin of the guys at Camp Chef, sharing is caring, guys. Sharing is caring. So make sure you share, and I think we're ready to start working on smoked brisket.
Let's get on those burgers.
Our smoked brisket burger.
Do you want to come on this side? You can see the place set.
So as you can tell, we are like actually on location in Erica's backyard.
We are in my backyard.
This is real, true.
It's a little windy here
back
in Boise
patio
today. Tom and Tori came up from Logan, Utah, drove the fun 6 hours up to Boise. It's a beautiful drive. But they came up here, and we've just been hanging out with them and smoked this brisket last night. We had a party, putting this thing on at 11:30 at night and then checking it at 4 in the morning. It was awesome. So we are gonna, like, as if this isn't good enough. I mean, this is perfect as it is. But if you want to take it just a little step further, look at that smoke right here, guys. That like kills me. That's so pretty. We are gonna make some blue cheese brisket burgers with some crispy onion straws.
All right, we've got quite a spread of ingredients.
So, and these are actually really easy to do. So I'm just gonna grab a bun. Well, actually, we don't even need a bun yet. We just need to get these burgers on the grill. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we need some ground beef. And this is actually some ground sirloin I picked up this morning.
Yeah, you had a great tip that you shared with us yesterday. You'll go get some sirloin and have them grind it
yeah.
up.
So at our local store, Albertsons, they have, I guess anywhere that has a butcher shop, they their sirloin goes on sale for cheaper than the ground beef, and so we'll go and they will grind it in store for you at no cost. So you can just go and get some ground sirloin
And make
so that's
yourself some steak burgers.
So this is really kind of like a steak brisket burger. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just like getting this super flat. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. Don't worry, we're gonna make it thicker. And we're gonna sprinkle some blue cheese in there. I love blue cheese. And the thing with doing blue cheese on burgers, it just like infuses the whole burger with flavor. So then I'm gonna get this other half of it and just kind of smash that on there. So we have just kind of like one giant burger. And it looks huge, but it actually shrinks up a lot. You'll see on the grill. We're gonna have Tom grill this guy up.
If you guys are just joining in, Erica from Favorite Family Recipes, hi Erica, is we are making some brisket burgers, some smoked brisket burgers. Here's our brisket over here. She's prepping the patties. We're going to throw those on the grill. And if you guys are joining us for the pellet grill giveaway,
How does that look, Tom?
we
Awesome.
are going to share that link where you can click
Just want one at
to
a
go
time?
enter as soon as we hit 600 shares. So get sharing, you guys, because we really want to give that link to you. Tom, this is going on to our sear box. How
Yes.
hot is this thing?
So that is sitting right around 800 to 900 degrees.
It's all the way on high.
Yep. So we want to get that nice, good looking crisscross sear marks. So we're going to let that cook for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then we will rotate it, let it cook for about another 30 seconds.
If you guys missed it, we did there's some blue cheese stuffed in the middle of those burger patties. So we're doing blue cheese brisket burgers.
And something that I was just thinking about, we haven't asked anyone. Where's everyone tuning in from? I mean, besides sharing this with your friends, where's everyone tuning in from? We're on location in Boise today, but where's everyone else from? Let us know.
Do we have any fellow Boise dwellers here today? We've made it up to your hometown.
Oh, shut that just as you were coming to take a look
I
at it.
know, Tom, jeez.
Alright. Go ahead and... Oh. Well, that was my quarter turn right there. So let that cook for a second. Alright, let's put that.
You got that sear mark on there?
Maybe go downstairs.
So like I said, we've got our sear box on high, and this is one of the great things about this sear box is that it's runs on propane, so you can actually run it separate from your pellet grill if you need to or want to. I mean, if you watched our video a couple weeks ago, we did reverse seared ribeye steaks, which were amazing. It kind of ruined me from ever ordering a steak at a restaurant again. But
Nice.
check that guy. This one, quarter turn.
And what are we putting on our burgers today, Erica?
So we're gonna put on, well, blue cheese isn't the only cheese we're gonna put on there. That's definitely not enough.
More cheese is not a problem.
So we have some Havarti. I love like the creamy taste of Havarti, and it just melts so well over burgers. It's not like that stringy cheese that you get. You're not gonna get like a big cheese pull, but it's just a really creamy, delicious cheese. If you haven't had Havarti on burgers, it's time to try it. And then we're also gonna put some, I just fried up some onion straws. I just cut up some onion really thin, and then I had it soak in buttermilk for like 45 minutes, and then I just tossed it with some flour and seasonings and fried it up. So we have these little crispy onion straws. You have to have a crispy element to your burgers, I believe. So something a little creamy, something crispy, and then delicious brisket. And
Delicious brisket. If you guys are just tuning in now, you gotta give you a shot of that smoke ring.
I'll get my cheese out of the way.
How are the patties looking, Tom?
Looking pretty good. Give them another turn. Make sure we're getting that patty cooked all the way through.
If you guys are just tuning in, we are giving away one of our pellet grills today.
Dun da da dun.
Yes, one of our Smoke Pro. Why can I not say that today? Smoke Pro pellet grills.
Be yours.
We are going to share a link to go enter to win one of those as soon as we hit 600 shares. So you guys can share more than once. You can share with all your friends. You can share however many times you want to if you are down to win one of these pellet grills. And as soon as we hit 600, we'll release that link and you guys can go enter.
We're at 496 shares.
496.
Oh, we are so close.
Yeah, we only need 100 more.
We are close.
Yeah.
So make sure you share, and then, like I said earlier, for those who are just tuning in, so the brisket, we have a recipe on campchef.com for doing smoked brisket, and then Tori a few months ago put together a great cooking guide, or first-timer's guide to smoking brisket. We actually posted that yesterday, and that's a great just how-to for your first time smoking brisket, because it's intimidating.
This is my first time actually smoking a brisket, because you hear like it's so time intensive, but actually it wasn't that bad. I mean, we just rinsed off the brisket. You can see on our Instagram stories of Tom. He did a little Salt Bay thing.
It was a very poor attempt.
So you rinse it and you pat it dry and you season it up, and then you just throw it on the pellet grill and just let it go for a few hours throughout the night. We were up checking it at about 4 just to make sure that it wasn't reaching the internal temperature too soon. We ended up pulling it off at about 7 this morning, and then we just wrapped it up in some foil. Just let it get up to a temperature of about 200 degrees.
let's get 2 buns
Okay.
because
You want to make one?
So if you guys just joined us, I'll quickly walk you through a little bit more of what Erica was talking about.
He's gonna toast these.
We,
That's
We got this brisket, we rinsed it, we patted it dry, we rubbed it down with some of our all-purpose seasoning, which has a bit of brown sugar in it, which is why there's so much caramelization on the bark of this brisket. Then that's pretty much it. We threw it on. This brisket was pre-trimmed, which was really nice. The guys at Double L Ranch, they actually sell pre-trimmed brisket.
And it's infused.
It's infused, so you don't really need to worry about any of the intensive trimming or any of that yourself. So we threw this on the pellet grill at about 11:30 last night. Wrapped it at about 7 this morning. Is that when we wrapped it?
Yep.
And then we pulled it off to rest at about 10:30.
Yeah,
I think is when we did
10:30.
that. So the whole process, the whole cooking process took, you know.
And if you're not familiar with brisket, like, this isn't like burnt. This doesn't taste like charcoal. Like, this is
It's
is
bark.
good. Yeah, bark, as he explained it. And that smoke ring is so flavorful. We've, like you can see, we've just been like piecing at it. It's so good. I can't stop eating it. This is by far the best brisket I've ever had. It is so good.
Move that. Alright.
Back to, and we are making, with this smoked brisket that we have, we are making some smoked brisket burgers. Erica, do you want to explain what you did with those patties? First of all, that's sirloin, ground sirloin, right?
Yep, that's some ground sirloin that I got. I just went to my local grocery store and had the butcher just get a piece of sirloin, grind it up, and then I just patted the patties. I did 2 different patties and patted them really flat and put blue cheese in the middle and then just kind of put them together. So there's blue cheese in the middle of those, and the beef just absorbs that blue cheese flavor. So if you like blue cheese, go with stuffing your burgers with blue cheese. Tom's not the biggest fan.
Well,
He
I'll
informed
give
me
it a
after
try.
I bought the blue cheese that he's not a fan of blue cheese. but
I'll give it a try.
He'll
Hey,
like it.
I did check. We're at 631 shares.
Oh, nice.
So here in a little bit, one of us 3 will post that link.
I will post it right now.
In the meantime,
I'm gonna be the camera guy.
I'm gonna get ready to toast some buns. Let's go ahead and put some of this cheese on there.
This is Havarti. It's a really good melting cheese, especially on burgers. So if you're like the cheddar Swiss kind of person looking for something new, definitely try Havarti.
Oh no!
We have a casualty.
Alright.
You guys, we are giving one of these away. We got this one last summer from Camp Chef, and we have used it so much. I mean, for everything. And this is actually, I have to admit, this is the first time we've used it for brisket because I've been really scared. But after doing it, I'm not scared anymore, so.
Alright.
Look how that's melting. That is just beautiful. I'm kind of a cheese person.
Pull these off. There.
There's our brisket, you guys, if you're just joining in.
And if you have not toasted your hamburger buns before, please do.
Oh, here. Tom's showing us how to.
But key thing,
Sorry.
wow,
I messed up the camera, I'm sorry.
is
There.
when you're also cooking on a 900-degree cast iron grate, the last thing you want to do is end up with some burnt buns.
Burnt buns are no bueno.
All right.
Alright, can I mayo these guys up?
Absolutely.
Alright. So we're just gonna.
And as I learned, guys, remember, make sure you have a bottom piece and a top piece. Last time we did burgers, I ended up with a bottom and a bottom.
Yeah, that would probably.
So is this just mayo?
Yep, this is just mayo that we're putting on. Okay, and then we can just
Build away.
build away.
So we'll get burger patty on there. then let's slice up some brisket.
And you guys, we did share that link in the comments. So if you want to go enter to win a smoke pro pellet grill. And we've been forgetting to mention this, but you guys will also win a favorite family recipes cookbook. We cannot forget that.
Absolutely not.
So you can enter to win both of those at the link in the comments.
Some crispy onion straws.
This is not a burger for the faint of heart.
You're gonna have to like cut this burger to eat it. Well, we have some bread.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's. Okay.
I'm just excited. This looks really good.
Okay, you guys.
That is a burger. Let's get some likes for burgers that are just gigantic.
And we're gonna put this on Favorite Family Recipes, the recipe on how to do this, and then also how to do a brisket. Tori's gonna do a guest post for us and show us, give you all the details on how to do a brisket on Favorite Family Recipes.
Someone's got to taste this.
I think your mouth is bigger than mine.
I'm a big mouth, but I'm not that big. Let's cut this guy in half. I've got brisket coming out over there.
We need one of those giant sandwich toothpicks. Look, hang on, let's get an inside look at this burger. So that's sirloin, ground steak, some blue cheese, some brisket, some fried onions, barbecue sauce. Am I missing anything?
Havarti.
Oh,
right?
and Havarti cheese. Yes,
Havarti
all
cheese.
of that. Okay, let's give it a shot.
All right.
You're gonna get burger in the beard, I think, Tom.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to squish that thing a little bit more.
How did Erica do?
A small burger.
Oh, he's not even telling us. He's just going for another bite.
Mm-hmm.
Must be good. That's with our smoked brisket, you guys, that we did. Some sirloin steak burgers, some onions, some blue cheese, some Havarti cheese, some barbecue sauce. That is our
That was amazing.
smoked brisket burger.
That was
Tom
amazing.
approved.
Definitely. Tom approved. Beard approved. That
I'm
was
surprised how cleanly you just did that.
good. Got a big mouth.
I wouldn't have been able to do such a nice job.
So, guys, make sure when you're doing brisket, just, some key things to pay attention to. This brisket, it was a choice cut of beef brisket. If you can, look for choice. Prime, obviously you're going to pay a higher price for it, but it's going to have that great marbling all throughout. And then when you're cooking it, temperature-wise, go about 225, maybe even high as 275, 250, just kind of personal preference. You're going to go for an internal temperature of 160 degrees before you wrap it in foil or butcher paper. That helps get you above that plateau, that stall. And that'll accelerate the cook up to 199 degrees. Then you pull it at between 199 and 203 degrees, and then let it rest. Make sure you let it rest for a minimum 30 minutes. In this case, we actually let this guy rest for about 2 hours, and it was still coming out pristine, great cut of meat, smoked on our pellet grill. Best part, someone's going to be able to win one of these. Tori's already posted that link in the comments. We'll be sure to post it back in the description of the video. Not only will you win this, but you're going to win a cookbook from Favorite Family Recipes, which my wife has one and loves it. We've had a few recipes at home and they're great. But in the meantime, Erica, thanks for being a great host.
Thanks for coming up to Boise to hang out with me. This has been fun. My first experience smoking a brisket.
How
I've
was
had
it?
smoked brisket before, but I've never been involved in the making of it.
Now you know.
It was so good. You guys, this is just like the most amazing brisket. Super tender. Way good.
Absolutely. So guys, thanks for joining in, and we will see you next week. And remember, sharing is caring. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.